the things that really irks me when I go to a restaurant and I see that the pepper steak is just a piece of steak that's been coated in coarse black pepper. Or, even worse, tinned gravy with coarse black pepper put in it. Now, in my opinion, a true pepper steak has got to be done with green peppercorns, which is these guys that I have here. Now, green peppercorns are it's still a very peppery flavor, but it's much smoother and it works a lot nicer. I'm going to use this rump steak here, or a rump roast. And a rump is, in my opinion, one of the best cuts of beef because it's got that good balance between tenderness and flavor. Now, generally, anything that's got that's really tender, it's not going to have quite as much flavor. So, this is the best middle ground piece of beef. I'm going to cut in strips about 1.5 centimeters thick, about 2 centimeters wide. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these peppercorns and I'm going to crush them right into the steak with a fork. Just kind of mash them in there a bit. And we'll sprinkle a little bit of sea salt. Okay, so first we'll do, in our pan, we'll do our mushrooms. Now I've got a little bit of that duck fat that we did the potatoes in. Got a little bit of pureed garlic. As well as the mushrooms. So these have been cooking for about 5 minutes on a medium heat. They're just browned lightly. We don't want to cook them down too much. We want to still keep them fairly nice and plump. We'll get rid of those. Olive oil now to the pan. And add our onions. Okay, so now our onions are nice and brown and cooked down. And then we're just going to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar to it. And let it evaporate off, giving us that balsamic glaze. As you may have noticed, I haven't been cleaning the pan between the mushrooms and onion. And that's just to keep all the flavors in the pan, because they'll all be part of our sauce later on. And with these, we're just searing the outside. We don't want to cook it too much because it'll get cooked again when it goes through the oven on the pizza. We'll pull these off, put them to the side. And you see all this stuff darkening on the pan. Well, this is Flavor Town. So we're going to deglaze the pan with a bit of whiskey. And of course, being Canadian. And we'll flame it off. That will probably look great on camera. Now, we're going to add a bit of beef stock. To this, we're going to add a little bit of pureed garlic and the remainder of our peppercorns. Now we're just going to let this simmer on the stove and reduce by about half. Now what I have here is some sour cream. And in order to add the sour cream to the sauce, we need to temper it, which means adding a little bit of the sauce to the sour cream at a time, just to bring up the temperature of the sour cream. Now, you also need to make sure that the sour cream is room temperature at this stage. Otherwise, it's all going to split. So now we get back to the beef. You can see these grain lines with the meat all going this way. So what we want to do is cut 90 degrees to that for our steak slices. Rare strips of beautiful steak. This is beautiful and tender and tasty. Now, all that's left is the assembly and the baking. So first, of course, it needs our pepper steak sauce, followed by a bit of cheese, and some of our glazed onions, mushrooms, and our duck fat roast potatoes. And then our strips of pepper steak. There it is, ready for the oven.